Good day folks, welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video I'm going to show you how to build a Senneker snare, the kind that I use with, we're going to use the, what's it called? The Senneker Power snare trigger system. Okay, so this is new to me and I'm just trying out a few of these snares with the Senneker kill spring trigger. If this is something that you use a lot or you've had any experience with, can you leave me something in the comments down below. Let me know how you like it, whether or not you like them on your snares or not, or if you find them effective or not or whatever. The only reason I'm wondering is because to me right now, and I know I hate to kind of judge before I get a few out in the field, but it just seems like one other thing that can go wrong or get messed up with the snare, and it's one extra step. As it is, these Senneker snares are complicated enough, with the kill spring and the breakaway and the collar and all that. So they're much more complicated than my other type simpler snares, but I'm going to try a few with the trigger system here. I bought 50 triggers and we'll run some snares with the triggers and see if we like them. But I'm going to show you how to build one and include the Senneker trigger on the snare. So first thing we're going to need some stuff. As you can see, I got it all laid out here. I use 4 furrows, single furrows. I use a double for my loop on the end. I use a support collar, the trigger of course. I use a 285-pound breakaway, and I use my cam lock and my kill spring and a couple of washers. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we'll make one of these, and I'll show you how to make one with the kill spring. Okay. So first of all, we're going to build our end loop. Now, sometimes I do use a swivel on the end. I don't have any swivels right now, or I would put a swivel on this one, but for this one, I'll just make a loop. It'll be just as good. Okay, so I just use my double furrow to make my end loop. Okay. Next, I'm going to slide on my collar, my support collar. Right, and it goes with the large end of the collar toward the loop I just made. Right, so that goes on next. Then next is my trigger, or yeah, my lock, I guess, not trigger. My lock is next, okay? And this has to go on with the teeth facing the wire. You can see this or not? But the teeth are facing the wire, and then the wire goes in the top slot right there, okay? I can get it to go in there, of course. Right? Why won't that work? There we go. Okay. And you have this on right. You can test this. You have this on right. If you grab the breakaway and you try to pull it toward the back of the snare, the loop you just made, and it won't move, then you have it on the right way. Okay? So that goes on next. And then you loop your wire through the loop in the breakaway, just like that. Okay. Then the next thing is going to be your trigger, your Senneker trigger. Okay, and they look like this, right? They're just a little L piece with a little latch and a little lock. Okay, so that goes on there like that. Okay, as such. And then you're going to put your kill spring on. That's next. Okay, as such, just like that. So far, that's what you got. And then you're going to take a washer, put a washer on. Sometimes I double washer there. You don't really need to, I guess, but sometimes you can. I put a washer on next, and then I put a couple of aluminum stops on the end, just to make sure. Again, some guys will only use one stop, and that's fine. I like to use 2. It just gives me that added sense of, that added protection that's not going to pull off the end of that. And there you go. You've got your snare made. And you're thinking, well, where's your snare? You just got a bunch of stuff on a wire right now. Well, your snare is actually right between the breakaway and your lock. So all you have to do is just bend your wire just a little bit and pull that through. And what you'll find is that right there, as soon as you pull that through, you have your snare. It becomes your snare loop, and you've got everything built just dandy. And there you go. There's your Senneker snare with your trigger system intact, and it works just fine. Okay? One of the things I do love about these Senneker snares is that the weight, how heavy they are on the top end with all of this gear. I know it's a little bit hard to camouflage up sometimes in the woods and on your trail and whatnot, but this is such a heavy system that as soon as something, you know, the bottom of their neck hits this, it's just as soon as it touches it, this right here, if this is set right, which mine isn't, but if this was set right, I mean, it literally just falls over the arc. It almost like it almost like springs itself, right? It's almost like a trigger or like a spring system. So it falls down really, really easily. And as soon as it's behind the neck, the ears and on the neck of that animal, they're done. They're not getting out of this anyway. So anyway, listen, that's how you build a Senneker snare with the trigger, okay? And I will do another video coming right up on how to set these and how to work with the Senneker trigger and why they're good or bad. But if you have any experience with the Senneker, using the Senneker Kill Spring trigger, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and you know, whether you like it, hate it, whatever. So anyway, listen, I hope this something can help you out and use this out on your line, and maybe you can build some of these up and catch some coyotes. So until next time, happy hunting from the MB Wildman channel.